Good morning. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. I am doing fantastic. Excited for the great weather that we're having. I love the cool mornings, cool evenings, hot days. It's nice when the temperature goes up and down. Hey, I wanted to jump on here. It's been a long time since I've done a video or given any update on our property. And we've had some fun developments lately. And I felt like there was something happening that, like, what was happening on my property, I felt like the Lord was saying is available in this season. It's just what's happening in this season in the spirit realm. So I wanted to share a little bit of what's happening on our property and kind of then talk about what I feel like it relates to. So you may remember we bought 40 acres, had dilapidated manufactured homes on it, a lot of debris, leftover projects from the last incredible family who had it, who just took it to where it was, and we were blessed to get to take it from there to where we're going. We've spent, gosh, that's been a year and a half now. I can't even believe that. But we just knew if we didn't get up here and get working, we'd never get it done. And so what we decided to do, instead of tearing down this awesome manufactured home, 63, right behind me, we decided we were just gonna kind of refurbish it a little bit, and that has proven to be a feat beyond what we understood, but we just saw the potential in it, and so we went for it. About, I would say, in my word, like January, we had put on a new roof, we had put in new windows, we'd redone the electrical and the plumbing, just kind of, modified some of those things. And then when it just started getting the abundance of winter, our new windows were leaking and we couldn't figure out what to do about that. There's just some nuances to this. So anyways, at some point we're like, okay, everything just came to a screeching halt. We had all this momentum and we really thought we would be in there by last November. And then we thought by February. I mean, here we are, July, and it's just a shell. So we were just like, okay. And so we had talked about many different options with it. Do we scrap it? Do we just replace it with a new one? Like, what do we do with this at this point? And it just kind of went on hold because other things came up in life and took priority. And we just went, we'll just get back to this. And so there we were. And about a month ago, I walked in there because it was just, I was like, Lord, what do we do with this? I just don't know what to do with this. And so I just walked in there. I was like, do we just tear it down? Like, what do we do here? And when I walked in, I just felt this thing in me. I just felt like I see potential here, and I hate to throw out any idea that has potential. I mean, I do think there's times when things are just beyond potential, and the best thing they can happen is they can be replaced, but there's a time when things can be restored. And so I just walked in, I was like, I just feel like there's so much potential here. And I thought about when I gave my life to the Lord and how he saw me that way. Like, I just see so much potential here. I see who you really are at your core, not just who you are in this current season. It's a beautiful thing when you can see something beyond its current season, when you can see every version of it. And that's how the Lord sees us. He sees every version of us all in one, knows the authentic us. And so recently, after that time, we were just like, okay, we just got to get some life on this project again. And we felt like we came up with a solution for the leaks. It was a very costly solution, but it was still, a solution. And we just thought, you know what? We just were at that. You ever been in the middle of something? You're like, I just don't even know what to do. Like, even if we do this, where do we go from here? We just felt like we're just going to take this next step. We're just going to do it. And we're just going to, once that's done, we'll do the next thing and it'll open for us. And so we ordered the things we needed for that, very costly covering for preventing leak. And once we did that, it was so amazing. There were so many things we just couldn't get in line. Like, we wanted a certain kind of insulation and specific drywall, and none of these things were accessible. And we just were hitting dead ends and roadblocks. And we would think, yeah, there's a solution. Someone would give us a solution, and then they'd get here and go like, no, that's not going to work. And so it was just this ongoing thing. But it was so crazy because the minute we ordered that, and just, okay, we're going to put the money down. We're going to just order this thing. It's the next thing that needs to be tended. We'll deal with what's next after. Everything just kind of went boop, 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 boop into place. And we ended up able to get all the things that had been just hidden, unavailable, not accessible. And so there just was this huge momentum roll from that first step. And as that happened, I just went, I feel like that's happening right now in many people's lives. And something just in, we're connected to the spiritual atmosphere. There's things that happen in the spirit realm that then show up in the natural. And what I felt like was kind of the word for this season is there's things that have been planted that maybe you felt like they just lost all momentum. It was something that had such invigoration for you or purpose to it. Remembering that even like David said, I know your blessing and favor is upon me for the sake of your people. Like the blessing and favor on us isn't just for us, it's to go through us. It's duplicatable. It's so much better to sow into something that's going to affect 10 than it is just one. Not that the one doesn't matter, but when something's duplicatable, it's more vibrant. So the blessing and favor that comes from the Lord, the seasons are for a purpose. And I just feel like in this season, there's like these options that are just like, okay, do I scrap this harvest or do I just do something to motivate it? And there's just something about you've got to take that step of faith. It's an act of faith. The Bible talks about prophetic acts. So when you step into something by faith, and faith is the evidence of things hoped for, but you can't currently see it. If we're always driven by what we see, that's not faith. That's sight. And in fact, that can be deceptive because we're just kind of going with the flow and whatever happens, happens. And there's not the participation on our part as image bearers, as bearing the presence and spirit of God, having the authority that he's given us to walk and release things of him into the earth that we live in to affect people for good. So knowing that we can impact the environments around us for good, and the decisions we make are beyond just us. They affect the spirit realm. They affect the community around us. They affect future generations. Nothing we do, we're not islands. It's not just about us. So even the blessing and favor on our life is to benefit others. And so that step of faith, like we did with this trailer, is just like, okay, I don't know what to do. I know the next thing is this. And I feel like there's just a lot of that going on where people just felt like this thing was maybe a year ago. It just lost all momentum. And I thought I would just laid it down, didn't think it would ever have life. And we're in a season where there's just acts of faith, prophetic acts, stepping into those things and see what opens up. And so I just want to encourage you not to be led by what's natural, what's easy, what just works out, but be stepping in, to the unction and the move of the Holy Spirit. And I'm going to show you inside, because if you saw our last video of this, okay, keep in mind, when you see this, you're going to go, this is just appallingly not amazing. But if you remember where it started, when it started, it had just carpet that was completely unacceptable. And I mean, the whole thing was, just paneling and mold and dry. It was just a catastrophe in here. So watch and see where we are now. And it's going to be awesome because I feel a lot of momentum on this. Like I was saying, just stepping in that step of faith of we're just going to order this. We have no idea what will happen next. Everything's come to fruition since then. We have a lot of momentum. So I'm going to show you where we are right now in this process. Let me flip it around. Okay, so here we are. As you approach, you can see everything's been moved out. Coming in, the outside still is not looking phenomenal, but you can see we got new windows. They're framed out. Coming inside. Okay, look at this. There's it looks like, I don't know, it looks like it could be a home. At some point, it's coming in together. So super excited for this to come in. And I feel like there's something about that as well. Look, we even put in a washer and dryer hookup. So fun. Going down, got the bathroom here and have a shower. I think we're going to be able to pop a double sink in there, even though we only plumbed it for one. I think we're going to change that. So, in that as well, when you look at this place, you can go, oh my word, there's just so much there, or you can see potential. And I'm really praying that in this season, people are able to see potential beyond what's before them. I just think this is just a season for vision, for reinvigorated harvest, places where you've planted in the past and felt like the harvest just didn't come up, revisit those places. Step into them with acts of faith and try to see things for their potential instead of just what's before you. Like, I'm just praying for heavenly vision, for innovative ideas, not just for our own lives. Again, the favor of God is through us, not just to us. It affects us, but it goes through us. And invigorating ideas for the community, for innovative solutions to things coming in this season. So I just feel like this is a season of a lot of harvest coming into play, and want to just encourage everybody. Don't grow weary in well-doing, for you will reap the harvest if you don't grow faint. If there's things that you put into place even a year or so ago and you felt like they just didn't grow to what you thought they were, revisit those things. See what the Lord's doing in the midst of it. And if you have those kind of things, share them. I'd love to hear, I'd love to see, drop it in the comments, do a video and tag me. And I will keep you posted on what's going on here. I think we got drywall we're going to be doing next week. And it's going to be so fun. So, bless you guys.